ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. In all the years, no one knows just how hard you worked. But now it shows. In one shining moment, it's all on the line. In one shining moment, they're frozen in time. But time is short and the road is long. In the blinking of an eye, that moment's gone. And when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best. 'Cause inside you knew that in one shining moment you reached deep inside. One shining moment you knew you were alive. Feel the beat of your heart, feel the wind in your face. It's more than a contest, it's more than a race. And when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best. 'Cause inside you knew, in one shining moment you reached for the sky. In one shining moment you knew, yeah. In one shining moment you're willing to try. In one shining moment you knew. One shining moment.
What is up, CSBA? We are live from the West. As tonight's CSBA featured matchup in prime time. The number 5 Duke Blue Devils coming on to take on the number 4 Kentucky Wildcats. Joining me in the booth is none other than Katie Murphy. What's up, Katie? Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. What is going on? How are you tonight?
Are you trying to tell me that we're going to be adding Blue Devils?
Trying to tell you what? I can't. You're really low.
I said trying to tell us that we're adding Blue Devils. That would be pretty great.
Something like that.
A lot of blue out there in the courts, and I'm pretty excited for this one. I think it has a possibility of being a real close one.
It's almost like a blue out as Ant Thomas is going to find a 3 and bang, Kentucky on the board early. That's a guy they're going to need. They're going to need to get a little extra something. He's been a little bit lackluster this season.
Yeah, hopefully blue out, not a blowout. Ant Thomas, Kobe Wiersma, and Marcus Carter are 3 of the guys I'm really looking for.
And Gaston Lewis says, how about a baguette?
Yeah. All of them starting some real similar plays too. So
yeah, almost like they ran the exact identical play, same playbook and everything. Bo Fazio, we're gonna get it over to Ant Thomas. 10 on the shot clock. Thomas featured here early, gonna drive up off the glass and good.
So Thomas showing us that he wants to go early in this one.
I wonder if that was part of Kentucky's game plan. Get him off and get him feeling good early, and then work in the rest of the team. Because Thomas has been a guy that has not been able to get going much at all this season.
And if if Duke didn't expect that, it's could be dangerous.
Yeah, especially when we know as Fazio fires up for 3, no good, rims in and out. You know, as we talk about Kentucky, is they've been certainly hanging on the backs of Marcus Carter, but also Colby Wiersma. So Thomas is kind of taking a back seat here this season to those guys. And so far, right now, he's got all of 5 of Kentucky's points. Is Shaquille O'Neal switches now. McNeil with the size mismatch fadeaway jumper. That's good as he rows at home. Scotty McNeil.
Wow.
You know that's going to be interesting if he's added that to his repertoire.
Yeah, I did not know he could do that, especially knowing
Thomas
height
drives.
that this thing brings.
Shane Knox challenges there, and another block again by Knox. So back-to-back blocks by Knox, that time on Tim Savage. But they're gonna say that went off of Kentucky. I don't see how that did.
So I'm noticing something here. McNeil is starting, which means Gunderson will be coming off the bench. And that has been where UK has struggled with a big man this season.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Is Duke changing the lineup just a little bit? It's always a chess match when it comes to March Madness for sure.
It's chess match year round if you play it right.
Yeah, Fazo to top. Yeah, I mean, you would think some coaches would, right? King in a drive goes right past Bo Fazo, so Fazo's going to need to do a better job there defensively.
80% to start for Duke.
And a typical Kentucky slow start. It's been their bugaboo for so long. Continues here as Shaquille O'Neal gets blocked by Scotty McNeil. Yeah, what were we going to say, Katie?
I said we do it slow in Kentucky.
Yes. It's like a slow gin fizz, right?
Yeah.
Nice follow there, and Duke out to an 11-5 lead. Marcus Carter and Kentucky going to call a timeout. After a quick start, 5 by Ant Thomas, it's been over since for the Wildcats. Going to need to pick things up here as we're going to have some mass substitutions from both squads. Inside, another great defensive play in the interior by the Blue Devils. Foul on the play, counted and one. All right, let's take a look at tonight's players to watch in this one. Coming in for Duke, the leading scorer in the CSBA, Russell Sprouts, averaging 21.8 points per game, 1.4 and 1.6 respectively on the rebounds and assists. And on the other side, Marcus Carter coming in at 14.9, 1.6, and 3.4 respectively.
Yeah, he's had some completely electric games, Carter has, so no surprise he makes that.
And I actually have to update that stat there. Carter actually averaging 15.1, and the fadeaway 3 is good by Colby Wiersma. Bang!
I'll tell you what, he can shoot. I mean, when he's on, he's on.
Gaston Lewis for 3. Bang!
Apparently, they're both just gonna be a shootout so far.
Matthew Lyle splits the defenders, drives in amongst the paint, hands it off to Darnell Pope and says, "Here you go, Pope. You get rejected instead of me." Lewis pull up jumper in transition. That's good. Gaston Lewis has been looking really mighty fine in this game. One of the offensive options.
He's honestly, I feel like he's usually more of a role player, and seems that he may have let himself take a little bit bigger role here.
Colby Wiersma with back-to-back threes. Bang! That's good. 19-11 now, the Blue Devils. Backdoor alley-oop to Pettit's no good. As good defense. And then Colby Wiersma getting down, rewarded in transition. He's now got 8. He's heating up.
Oh, man. Tell you what, I saw him do that last season. Too, and didn't end well with the other team.
64 in the stream. Appreciate you all hanging out with us here, right here in primetime Friday night. In this 4 versus 5 matchup. Floater is good.
Can't even blame the D on there too bad because, I mean, he was a smaller guy, but he contested it. That's all he had.
Kentucky's bench picking them up right now. It's gotten them right back in this ball game as they trail by 4. J Money tries to drive to the left there, trying to work his way around 2 defenders. Gets inside, uses the glass, but can't get it to go. Wears him up with the rebound. Quick outlet pass. Rocket Webb taking his sweet time here.
Oh, didn't set his feet there.
Did not like that play at all by Rocket Webb. Not sure what he was doing in that possession. Could have went in for an easy high percentage bucket there, or at least squared himself on the shot, Katie.
Yeah, I mean he had the time to let his feet set there, and he decided to just get fancy with it, I guess.
Highlight reels, not in March Madness. You get them if they happen, but naturally, but you don't force them. Gunderson forced to pick up his dribble, kicks it outside to Carter, gets the screen. Carter trying to work over Matthew Lyle. Floater in the lane is good, and Kentucky going to take another timeout here as they are trailing by 6. Duke shooting almost 70% here, Katie, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is. So I was trying to find this stat that I saw somebody drop earlier. I know that there are 13 perfect brackets left so far. And I think it was 7-6 in favor of winning this one. So, regardless of the outcome, we're going to be seeing that.
Foul counted in 1 as Ken Copeland draws the foul off of Loki Gunderson. His first team's second foul here. So, Copeland to the line to shoot 1 rather, try to complete the 3-point play. Big bucket there by Ken Copeland.
Yeah, way to finish it.
You know, interesting thing here, you talked about Gunderson on the bench for Duke and a little bit of a lineup shuffle there. You know, does that change the synergy of your bench at all? Like, there's a lot of chemistry that had been formed for a lot of the season for this Blue Devil team.
So, you know, in my experience, I've known some of my players definitely, the way they play, they prefer to play with just the other guys more. But, you know, you always have to keep that in mind. So, definitely could have some effect, but it could be a positive. Definitely could be a negative effect.
Yeah, for sure. Nice play there by Colby Wiersma again. He's got 10 points here in this first quarter alone. Chance for a 3-point play here to make it 11 in this first quarter. So Colby Wiersma looking really sharp here early on for Kentucky. And I remember listening to the podcast. You guys talked about Colby as being a factor.
I believe my answer was Marcus Carter and Kobe Wiersma make the game different.
See, I was paying attention. I listened to that. I listened to the whole thing while I was doing all the upgrades. You guys did a phenomenal job on that, by the way. L.A. Rowe for 3, no good, too strong, as Darnell Pope up with a rebound.
It was a lot of fun, and you know, it made it easier to watch these games this week. Oh wow, I got that right, or I got that wrong.
Nice take there by Ken Copeland. He's looked good early on here, the junior. Small forward, averaging 2.6 a game, has already got double his average on the season. And you guys did a phenomenal job on that podcast. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate all the added extra content that has been brought out. Shout out to our preview team who do a phenomenal job also on the magazine Inside the Paint, the CSBA Inside the Paint. We haven't seen that since season 3, so I was really happy that the guys were able to put that out.
It looked great.
Rowe for 2, that's good. So Duke retakes the lead by 1 here.
Showing to be that close game that we had hoped that it was going to be so far.
Three no good there.
Lyle had a man down in the paint. Oh my god.
That's
he posted him so hard he fell over and he can't get up.
That's a clippable clip right there.
Definitely.
He got you in the booth, I gotta say it.
Yeah. It wouldn't be me in the booth without it.
Colby Wiersma going to hold for 1 here, 25-22. Matthew Lyle for 3. Bang! And that's a big 3 there for Kentucky to tie it up. Rogan, of course, 3-quarter shot, no good. Well, great game in the books. 25 apiece. After 1, you're watching March Madness in prime time. Our last game for Friday. Got the whole another slate of games tomorrow, but stick around. Watching CSBN primetime March Madness 4 versus 5 Duke and Kentucky. We're back. All right, welcome back here to Vegas. Katie, what's your thoughts on that first quarter that we just witnessed?
You know, it's been a great one so far. We're shaping up to be competitive. On a lot of what I expected too. UK keeping that three ball alive for one of the best competitors in the league as far as a team goes, and Duke is getting in a mix of things. I would guess they're probably out rebounding. Okay.
So I wanted to ask your opinion, and I know some of the Georgetown contingent was not thrilled with, having a plethora of games like the way we have this year's first round. I'm just curious, and it's okay if you feel similar to the rest of your contingent. But what's your thoughts on what we've seen today? And obviously, it's a lot of games in one day, but it's been a fun day. But
yeah.
I'm just curious to hear your thoughts, and it's okay if you do go negative town.
Right.
I will not chastise you for it. I want an honest answer.
I know that I did not get to watch all of them. I did have some plans and stuff today. I know several people did not think too.
Did not what? Sorry?
I said I know several people. I had plans myself today, so I didn't get to watch all the games. Quite a good bit of them. And I know several people, they didn't get to either. So I think them all being on that day has given some people a lot to do. I know Class was in here saying finally has something to do at work.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was interesting. I think I like it spread out throughout the week better, personally.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's,
I did
it's
the one
been
thing.
interesting.
I would say the one thing that I liked about it is wow, what a take by Marcus Carter. Holy
That's
cow!
a clip. Okay.
That just stopped me in my tracks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think that the fact that it landed on Thanksgiving week helps in some ways.
For sure.
Like the people that go to school.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if we wouldn't do this on a weekday when people are at work in a normal regular weekday, but I do think what I did like about it is, first off, we've had phenomenal viewership all day. I think we were averaging 60 plus on almost every single stream tonight, and I've seen as high as up to 108. I think was the highest I saw. So. It's been fun from that perspective. This is probably the lowest we've seen at 46, and it was at 60 a little while ago, but it dropped back down to 46. But hopefully it jumps back up again. But we've averaged well over 60 for the day, so that in alone has said a lot to me. Obviously, I think that the timing of when it was, like you said, a nice no look past to Shaquille O'Neal for the throwdown dunk. But I do like what it brought from that. Our March Madness feel to it. It feels very similar in that vein, but
I think that it could also work better had it been known ahead of time a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. That's fair.
A large group of people, be like, oh, this Friday and this week there's going to be a lot of games, right?
Yeah.
So.
For sure. I think the way the holidays were spread out, and I think it worked out. I mean, the rest of the games are spread out, so just the first round. So, and Ant Thomas steps out of bounds.
Well, we have the games too, so I mean, it gets easier to spread.
Yeah, for sure.
In a timely manner.
So turnover there by Kentucky as they trail Duke by 6. Gaston Lewis.
He wanted to take that.
Yeah, he definitely did. Sprouts, we haven't spent Sprouts' name at all here. Going to go over to King.
Last time I heard somebody say that, he went off.
Yeah, I know, right?
Be careful.
Sleeping Giants. Let sleeping giants lay. Sleep, is that what they usually say? Something to that effect, right?
Yeah, he might be a sleeping little given his size. It's very dangerous. He was pretty quiet against UNC when they played. And he came roaring back and brought him back from a 20-point deficit or something. So,
Well, Lewis has been the guy. It's been him and Thomas have been featured here a lot in the offense.
Ooh.
He had Oatmeal up in the air. That was a good job by Gaston Lewis. Just not able to finish the play there. Now Thomas Savage in the low post size mismatch for him. He's going to do a little bit of bully ball. Draws the double team. Kicks it back outside. Good ball movement by Kentucky here. Now Marcus Carter. Pull-up jumper and rattles that home.
Marcus Carter and Kobe Wiersma. The Duke team has some incredible centers. So, you know, the guards here are kind of the answer.
Carter for three. Trying to answer back. Rims in and out. Just realized both teams have Carters on them as Ant Thomas not able to hit that.
I was hearing that name an awful lot.
Jordan Carter versus Martin. Wow! Eating King. There's a clippable clip.
We've seen quite a few so far, honestly.
Yeah, there's been some nice. There's been some good dunks. Michael Bryson, I think earlier in the day had a phenomenal one. What's up? Mob, what's up? Welcome to the stream. First time chat. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you for the compliments. You missed, we had 7 games today. This is game number 8 of the round 1. We got 8 tomorrow, so make sure to tune back in. Hit that follow button, which I think you might already have. Appreciate everybody out. We got 57 in the stream. Viewership has been outstanding today. So we appreciate all the CSBA OGs as well as anybody new checking us out for the very first time. Wiersma draws the double team. Going to go over to Pope. Pope gets it away before the shot clock expires, but can't get the 3 to go.
Yeah, a little bit rushed there, unfortunately for his release, it seemed.
Jordan Carter going to go down low to Gunderson. Gunderson kicks it back. Good give and go between the Carter and Gunderson, and drops a 3. Wow, what were we going to say there, Katie?
Possibly the icing on the cake of that was that Gunderson fought over the other center and was going to get that rebound regardless of the points.
And a bad turnover for Kentucky. They probably had a good look at a 3 right there.
Yeah.
And
I think that was back-to-back plays on Pope, right?
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah, but obviously anybody new, appreciate you all hanging out with us. Nice pass inside to Carter again, and Duke starting to put the foot on the gas pedal here late in the second.
Well.
And we've seen Kentucky go on dry spells this season a lot like this. So, but we've also seen them heat up quickly too. Is big 3? They're gonna call it a 2.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise. Duke is shooting 66%. They're getting it inside. They're getting the higher percentage looks. UK is having to take it outside a lot more for their quality.
Yeah, for sure. Gunderson going to try to do a little bully ball as he batters down as the defender. The defender there, and then a floater, no good. So good job by Kentucky though on the double team there, Katie, in the low post, and they're going to get rewarded for running the floor as Kobe Wiersma.
Gunderson did not see the little man come in to hit that ball, and great defense.
Hey, Katie, can you do me a favor? I don't know if it's your microphone or if you're just not talking close to your mic. Just a little closer or a little louder. Either one or the other. Just only because the game sounds a little louder than you. There you go. Now I hear you, whatever you just did.
I don't know what it is. I've been having that issue a little bit lately. I don't know if it's Mike or what. But...
Ooh, Kobe Wiersma blows it, and then a loose ball foul again on Darnell Pope.
Oh, man.
Wiersma had gotten the offensive board, and then it would have been a second chance opportunity there for Kentucky. Mental mistake coming back to hurt the Wildcats. Yeah. Nice backdoor pass to Gaston Lewis.
I think it's pretty evident at this point that Duke definitely made an attempt to attack Pope.
Yeah, it is. And Pope is also folding like a lawn chair on the defensive side of things. This is Kobe Wiersma again. Wiersma's got 15 points here.
Yep. He did that last March Madness too.
Kobe Wiersma
brings back memories.
Such a good lethal shooter. Jay Money now. They got Gunderson again down in the low post. They're going to feed it to him and see if they bullies his way against Pope there and decides to kick it out. I'm not sure why. Jay Money for 3. Bang! What? Jay Money. Cash Money is what that was.
Okay, he had his man beat. but somehow Money got that to go?
Wow.
That's insane.
81 in the stream. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. New CSBA fans out there and some OGs. Appreciate y'all. Ken Copeland for 2, no good. Nice job, Darnell Pope, finally doing something there, keeping it alive for a second chance opportunity here for Kentucky.
Yeah, fuck Gunderson on that one.
Matthew Lyle for 3. No good as it rims in and out. I thought that was halfway down. I was ready to yell out bang. Gaston Lewis the money to Carter. Carter beyond the arc now. Shot clock game clock winding down. Carter fires it up. Can't get it to go. And at the end of the first half, the number 5 seeded Blue Devils with a 10-point lead over the number 4 seeded Kentucky Wildcats. This has been an interesting first half. You're watching CSBA March Madness round 1. Katie going to break down our first half here with the CSBA halftime show. Katie, give me your feed on what we saw there in the first.
Yeah, I think Duke definitely played a more balanced game. Seems to favor the inside with Gunderson and Knott, but definitely has hit some big threes. Quiet from Sprouts, so they're doing well without their star here tonight so far.
Yeah, and interesting you just named Sprouts. Is he going to get hot now? That's the question for me. But keep going.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they've not got him going is showing a lot for the Duke team, too.
Especially when they're shooting 60%. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. UK is, Wiersma and Carter are kind of, an ant, are kind of carrying them right now as far as keeping them in this. Need to see the centers step it up. They're obviously losing the rebound game. Need to get them some second chances with the way they're taking 3 points. They need those second chances when they're taking, not the most efficient shots.
No surprise, Kobe Wiersman, the leading scorer at the half. We talked about what a great first half he had. 15 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. They're going to need something from somebody else, though. We haven't heard much from Bo Fazal. We have not heard much from Tim Savage. We have not heard much from any of the other players beyond Marcus Carter and Ant Thomas and Wiersma. So Kentucky's going to need someone to step up here if they want to keep this a bowl game. While the opposite could be said for the Blue Devils, who've gotten contributions from a lot of players here so far.
Oh, Mitch McNeil there. He's going to get it.
King for contested 3, no good. Oatmeal up with the rebound. Fazo drawing the double team. Aiden King going to get called for the reach-in foul.
I think he was trying not to let him get the easy 2 points there.
Yeah, it looked like someone was about ready to cut to the basket, so defensive play there. Carter, step back 2, no good, rims out. Shaquille O'Neal tried to tap that back to Ant Thomas, but Aiden King able to intercept. Backdoor pass to Russell Sprouts, counted and 1.
Uh-oh, there he is.
He said, eat your veggies.
Yeah, I mean, he's averaging 20 points per game. So with that math,
you can only keep him off the board for so long, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, with that math, you can pretty well assume that he is, been huge in every game they've played this season. So as quiet as he is right now, you wonder, is it a matter of time, or did they manage to shut him up? And no team's managed to shut him up yet, so.
For sure, as he completes the 3-point play the old-fashioned way. So they now lead by 13, biggest deficit of the game. What's up, Dobbins? Love to see when he's back. Marcus Carter for 3. Ooh, that was halfway down before rattling out, Katie.
Yeah, always a shame there.
No surprise, Duke winning the edge on the rebound. I know you guys talked about that during your podcast about Kentucky struggling with bigs, and right now, it's
been their weakness all season.
It is, and if I'm Coach Thomas, it's a nice find there to find Sprouts again, and they've kind of gotten him going. But I was to say, if you're Coach Thomas and this game does not work out in your favor, recruiting strategy for next year, you could sure as heck bet that Kentucky's going to look to find some bigs.
Yeah, I mean, looking on paper, this is a little bit of an unfortunate draw for because their bane all season has been Diggs.
Yep, Tim Savage for 3, bang.
Duke runs 3 centers. So, I mean, unfortunate for him. They're trying to keep it in, though, so...
Yeah, for sure. That's a big 3 by Savage. Savage, crazy from beyond the arc, shooting 53% from downtown this season. So, a guy, if you
forward.
What's that?
As a power forward.
Yeah, if you can get that guy, get him some open looks, we might get Kentucky right back in this ball game. He's a guy I would look to. He hasn't really had the ball much in this one. Carter, a Carter on Carter matchup there. Now King pull up from the free throw line, rattles in and out, no good, and O'Meal comes in, the big Quaker coming in for the rebound. Thomas to Savage. Savage got to step up and drill the 3. King giving him a lot of room. Now Fazo going to go over to Savage, gets it in rhythm there, not able to get the mid-range J to go, though.
Yeah, I think that first shot you were talking about was a better look than the one he ended up taking.
Yeah, for sure. Gaston Lewis with a 3, bang. So the Dukies looking good, awfully good here as they lead 55-40, 15-point lead for the Blue Devils. Kentucky a little shell-shocked right now. Kentucky faithful quiet, Katie.
Yeah, definitely not how they wanted this one to go. And still plenty of time to make a big difference, especially with the way they can hit 3s. But they're going to have to get to work here.
They need to pick up the tempo, get some high percentage looks, and work those 3s in. 5:10 to go here, third quarter. Passing to Thomas. We've seen a lot of good games. I know we were talking it during the break. It's Fazo for 3, bang, and that's a big needed 3 from Bo Fazo. But we were talking a little bit during the break, in between games, about we've really seen a lot of close games today, a lot closer than someone would have expected. Even a few of the games that landed in the double digits. Nice pass to Knox. They were good for 3 quarters. This game feels a little reminiscent so far of what we saw in the last game, which was the only blowout pretty much of the day, in my honest opinion. Most of the other games were relatively close.
I don't think it's quite there yet, but definitely could get there. They've already lost what feels like the competitive edge on this one, and they seem to be losing momentum by the second.
Yeah, they're going to need to dig in here, and Shaquille O'Neal, the last guy to take a 3 there. He continues to get those looks. He continues to take like 1 or 2 a game. This LA row for 2 is good.
Yeah, yelling, swing it at him, hoping you do it.
Did they give him credit? I think they might have given him credit for a 3 there.
It looked like it could have been more.
Because I think they were 14. Carter for 2 and a deep 2.
Yeah, unbalanced one, too.
See, if Carter's going to take that, it might have to take a step behind the line.
Yeah, a little jump back, then faded, I guess. I don't even know why you need the fade. They just be fading sometimes.
Yes. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching CSBA on Twitch, right?
Yeah. Gone on you with the pick and roll. Younger flame, he in sicko mode. This here with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me loose. Yeah, jump out, boys. That's Nike boys hopping our coops. This shit way too big. When we pull up, give me the loot. Give me the loot. Was off the Remy, had a papoose. Had to hit my old town to duck the news. 2-4-hour lockdown, we made no moves. Now it's 4 a.m.
All right, welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, Western region. King. Wiersma all over him. Going to kick it outside of Money, who hit that contested 3 earlier. This is where Kentucky needs to step up. Their bench has got to play tight D. Duke's bench not as deep, not that deep. It's Gunderson. Nobody boxing him out. Flies in for the putback.
Yeah, he's a big body for nobody to be trying to keep him from getting those boards like that.
Wiersma step back 3. No good as it rattles into that. One of the rare misses here for Colby Wiersma in this one.
And you hope that it doesn't start showing that sign that might be him pulling off, right? That what goes up must come down. Oh!
Matthew Lyle stripped it away, but then they're going to call a loose ball foul on him as somebody went flying.
Gunderson. And that was reminiscent of the time Groves threw my player.
I remember that. Bryce Strong caught saying, flagrant!
Yeah. Mine was 100% of flagrant, and it wasn't. It was worse than that was. So mine wasn't a flagrant, then that's not.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Duke just shooting lights out. 65% for the game, 70% here in the third quarter.
And, I mean, and most of it's coming inside. Not all of it, but most of it.
Pope able to finish, but sits at 17 points right now. Kentucky needs to dig in defensively, needs to go on a little bit of a run. If they can get this down to 10 to start the fourth quarter, they'll be right in this ball game. But cannot sit here at 17. King. Ooh, traveling violation. Good call by the ref there. He took a couple steps before he even went to put the ball down. So
45% of brackets had Kentucky winning tonight. So that's a pretty solid amount of people thinking that this was going to be a closer game.
yeah, Wiersma for three. Bang. Much needed there. Now they trail by 14, so cuts that deficit in half of where I said they needed to be before the end of the third. We go over to Gunderson. Gunderson going to try to bully his way down. Kicks it outside. Sprouts for three. Bang! Answering right back as Russell Sprouts.
That was some great movement. Gunderson made him bite. He's obviously got the size there, and finds his man, gets him the ball in first place.
Just makes Colby Wiersma's three feel so like, I don't know.
So much more effort.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what. Yeah, I agree with you there. Lyle trying to work his way up, pull-up jumper. Matthew Lyle's been quiet the last several games. They haven't gotten much from him off the bench. Something that they would prefer if you're Kentucky. You need to get somebody else to help out. Good ball.
This is too much blue, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot of blue. But I guess that we're not watching a lot of orange, so I guess that's good because I feel like we always see a lot of orange games.
Yeah, probably should. This is probably better.
Carter for three. Jordan Carter, bang. Bang for a guy that's shooting only 28% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and that had a hand in the face. Huh?
Wiersma trying to answer right back and does. Bang. Colby Wiersma cuts it back to 17.
It's not fair. Wiersma just completely activates when it actually matters.
Yep.
You know.
Carter for two as the ref pointed to the immediately with two fingers. Kentucky wins their 6 brackets. If Duke wins their 7, that's crazy. Colby Wiersma step back three again. Ooh, this time not able to get it to go. Good job by Copeland, but gets blocked from behind. Somehow gets it back. Pope going to kick it out to Lyle, so another chance here for Kentucky. Matthew Lyle gets the switch now. Sprouts on him. He's going to fire it up here. Waited way too long. Was Matthew Lyle on a shot clock violation.
Yeah, it definitely waited too long on that. He's trying to make himself some separation, but wasn't really doing anything that had any real meaning to get that.
Sprouts for three, no good, and the end of three. 72-53, 19-point lead for the Duke Blue Devils, who's making mincemeat right now over the Kentucky Wildcats. You're watching CSBA March Madness on Twitch. We're right back. All right, welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's take a look at the State Farm assist of the game. It's going to be the Knox alley-oop to Aiden King. We've seen some better ones, but...
Definitely. We've also seen worse, though.
Yeah, we have seen worse. I mean, that's a big man giving that, so I'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about something. We saw Alabama get crushed last game. We're seeing Kentucky get crushed here. We talked a little bit about it, and I'm going to say this, and this is not to start controversy or start a fight for any stretch of the imaginations, because I have the utmost respect for Kay Howie and everybody at Tennessee, but the SEC has not fared well at all this tournament. There's a lot of talk about the ACC being weaker than the SEC, and I just feel like right now the way the SEC has played in this tournament, even Tennessee didn't blow the doors off of their competition in the first round, in my honest opinion. I mean,
Florida has been the most overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I forgot about Florida. I forgot about what Florida did tonight. So maybe it is just a two-team conference right now in the Vols, but right now Kentucky and Alabama certainly have not played well at all. And
well, you mean Auburn didn't even make it.
Yeah.
And then LSU has to play Tech, so we'll get to see what.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, Thomas not able to get that one. I mean, listen, there's no. I'm not trying to knock Tennessee. I'm just saying, like, I know there was a lot of talk about Tennessee being the number one overall, and some people were up in arms about that. I'm just making conversation here. I'm not trying to rate on anybody's parade.
I think personally, the number one overall is one of those you could debate a million times over.
That's fair.
And like I wouldn't even necessarily argue that we are. I think there's an argument for us, of course, but
yeah, I mean the same could be.
There's like 4 teams that could be the number one team.
Yeah, that's fair.
You could have a team that didn't even go 9-1 based on the way the season's progressed. I guess part of it is it's kind of hard to hold early season losses against some teams because we know they've gotten better.
Yeah.
And they've put in the work.
But then my question to you is this, and this is just fodder. This means nothing.
Right.
I was not really a selection committee person. I only stepped in there at the last minute because B Mills was nowhere to be found.
I'm not in there, so I'm a fresh opinion.
Yeah, no, and that's fair, and that's very fair. I think the one thing for me, and I did not have Tennessee first in my picks. I had North Carolina. I'm just being honest. That's who I had as my number one overall. But
and
I mean,
they ended up 4th in the seats.
For sure. And I think a lot of people, my knock on why I thought Tennessee was at 1, but I didn't think they were the number one overall is because, in my opinion, a 20-point whatever blowout loss. I think it was 20. Actually, it was a 30-point blowout loss to Miami. And granted, it was early on, and everybody's like, well, it was early on, but the teams were even probably. It's tough because I can't go back and say, hey, this one was at this cap and this one was at that cap, but
Right.
I don't know. I still put stock in it.
I do too. I agree with you. I wasn't necessarily saying you don't, but when I said that, I was thinking of a team like Iowa, who had obviously is one of the better teams in the tournament, and I think they've taken 2 losses. One was the very first week to us, and so sometimes it's like, what would happen if you ran that game now? And we might find that out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, I was, we were talking with Nighthawk a little bit in the selection committee thing, and there was a lot of conversation back and forth about that very subject, and how much stock do you hold in the early season losses and the strength of schedule, and how much does that truly mean? Because everybody's like, oh, out of conference, strength of schedule. How much? And then last season, it was very much talked about the out of conference and the strength of schedule, right?
Right.
But if your conference is weak and you played 3 strong out of conference games and you did well, shouldn't there be stock put into those games? Like I think there should be, but a lot of people this season looked at it the opposite way and said, I mean, the next season things are going to change on the dime because out of conference is going to be based on the fact that we're adding mid majors to our schedule. and there's going to be a bye week out of conference. It's not going to be just the first 3 weeks, so that's going to play a factor throughout the season. It'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a new dynamic, because we know that when you're first, your team's first started, you're getting your feet set, whatever, right? Like, there is no secret that the loss that Georgetown took to Marquette in the conference finals hurt them worse than the loss Tennessee took to Miami in the standings.
And the sad part is you guys did not lose by 30. You lost a close game.
No. Exactly. That is
so
exactly the point.
I have a hard time wrapping my head around that one. But it's interesting. It's all good conversations. Like, listen, a lot of people feel passionate in a lot of different ways. I think next year's season, with the bye week coming into play and there being an out of conference schedule falling in the middle of the season, that might actually mean more. Mm-hmm. Strength of schedule might actually mean more. So.
Well, that'll be interesting. I know that.
Kay says it's not close. They lost by 12. I'm sorry, a 12-point loss is a close loss.
How much did they lose again?
They lost by 30 to Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with the rankings. I'm just.
We're talking. This is all fodder. I don't really have a horse in the race. I don't really care.
A point to say the early losses hurt you less than later losses.
Yeah, for sure.
It was the same loss both to top 10 teams, top 7 teams. One was by 30 points, one was 12. So, I mean, it's just the way it is right now, at least. So.
Yeah, for sure. Shay Knox again with a nice assist there. You talk about a 12. Let's just talk about that. A 12-point loss isn't bad, or is it? If the game was single digits the entire game and because of fouls down the end, you can't just look at a number and just say how was the game played, and that game was close throughout.
Yeah, I do say that Marquette had control through the majority of it. I mean, it was close, but it never felt like Georgetown had any real momentum in that in a meaningful way, and Marquette definitely seemed to have their foot on the gas a bit. And that's what we were saying. That was what we're looking at, is the fact that Tennessee was a different team. That's why that was affected.
Oh yeah, and listen, we're just having fun with the conversation.
We're not disagreeing with any of it.
Yeah. A lot of conversations, a lot of food for thought, a lot of different ways you can look at it and spin it. Yeah, I mean, listen,
look at it the way it all works when it goes into these March Madness rankings.
Yeah.
A lot of it doesn't matter because who's gonna win is gonna win. Like, it doesn't matter where you're sitting.
Yeah, for sure. But everybody's passionate. Everybody has a horse in the race and feels so, just so passionate about how things are. And at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun, and that's all that matters. I didn't mean to stir the pot there. Just we're sitting here watching Duke do work on Kentucky right now, and
Duke. Assuming that they close this out all safe and sound, we'll play Gonzaga. So we'll get the Stern matchup.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And both teams have size, so that'll be even more interesting.
I think they both have 3 centers.
I believe so. Yeah, I think you're right on that. Or they did
so
at least they did at one point. I'd have to look at. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look at the call sheet real quick.
I think they're different breeds of centers. Your Money Mills is inside out, and you've got 2 threes on Duke. So
yeah, you got Falco, Lawrence, and Money Mills. Yeah, that'll be interesting. See how that one plays out.
Definitely cannot say Duke has a meaningful size advantage against Gonzaga.
No, I mean, I think that's a really nice matchup in the second round. And by the way, shout out, what's up, Zio? I haven't seen you in the stream in forever, buddy. How you doing? Hope all is well with you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Haven't talked to you in a dog's age, so I hope you're good. What's up, Legion? Savage for 3, no good. And Duke can run out the clock here.
Yeah.
Well, Legion, I hope you don't treat it as every other game, my friend, because that is a big matchup for a lot of people as well as you guys. No offense.
You trying to put the pressure on him?
No, he's trying to put the pressure on his brother. Is what he's trying to do. Tough loss there for the Wildcats. Made a miraculous run last year. Appreciate the raid there, goals. Thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, Kentucky made a miraculous run last year. So this year, not the same team though. And some teams obviously adjusting along the way there to build themselves up to be better. And Duke, I think, came to play tonight. You want to break down this team comparison for me, Katie?
Yeah, 22 3-pointers for UK, which is a sizable amount. But Duke actually managed to shoot just as many, which is a little bit surprising to me. Points in the paint, 38 for Duke, 26 for UK. Bench points are fairly even. UK actually wins that one a bit. Assists, pretty decent margin there, 28 to 15 in Duke's favor.
Yeah, a little bit better ball distribution for Duke if you're just looking at that number alone.
Yeah, then Duke seems to have won on the defensive rebounding by 7, which is not as many as one would think based on the way that game went. Blocks fairly even. Duke has a little bit more. Steals fairly even. Blocks, Duke has a little bit more. Turnovers, UK had 2 more, 6 compared to 4. Time of possession is actually in favor of Duke, which is a little bit interesting because I think normally you see it the other way.
Yeah, for sure. I agree, but I think Duke plays a little bit of a slower tempo rather.
I think and I think UK where they shoot those threes and sometimes really early into the shot clock.
Yeah, both teams shot a lot of threes. I mean, there was 43 pointers in this game, so that's great. Yeah. That's a crazy stat.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's above average.
Yeah, that is above average. And then Duke only getting to the free throw line 2 times. Kentucky. I mean, I guess when you're living beyond the arc, it's gonna happen. But there were a lot of threes in this game. Not gonna lie.
That's Duke tried to play them at their own game, and they did a little bit there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they did a better job at it. I mean, I think overall they did, and the points in the paint and the rebounding, I think, was also detrimental to Kentucky. So the size definitely did matter in this one. Let's take a look at the box score. Yes, I just did just say that. Kobe Wiersma finishing with 21 points on 8 of 11, shooting 4 of 6 down from downtown. Obviously, the player of the game for Kentucky, without a doubt. Probably played one of his best games I've seen in a long time from Kobe Wiersma. We're going to look forward to seeing that senior in the Pro League. Sad to see him go, but a big fan of Kobe Wiersma as he finishes his last game at Kentucky. And Thomas, the only other guy in double digits for the Wildcats, finishing with 11 points, 2 rebounds, and a block on 5 of 11 shooting. A lot of those points coming early on. We didn't see much from Thomas after that. Katie, he was kind of quiet.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I think he kind of was a catalyst in some ways to got him going. But yeah, he definitely wasn't as much of a factor later on.
And I think Gaston Lewis kind of started to lock him down as the game wore on. Marcus Carter finishing with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 8 shooting. 0 of 3 from downtown, something you don't exactly see a lot from Marcus Carter. And you look at what the overall points per game is. Marcus Carter was one of those players to watch coming in, averaging 15 points per game. So a good job. A good job by Marcus being shut down. Good job by Russell Sprouse shutting down Marcus Carter tonight. Not able to get going beyond the arc.
I said going into this one, it wasn't just one person that's make or break. It was.
Yeah, if you guys in the stream chat, we got 76 of you can help this new guy out. Appreciate the follow and obviously interested in playing for the CSBA. Tim Savage finishing 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 of 5 shootings, 1 of 1 from downtown, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. A guy I think Kentucky needed to get involved more. The good part for Kentucky is assuming he stays with and doesn't transfer out. Tim Savage is going to be a guy that they might want to think about building around. Matthew Lyle finishing with 7 points, assists, and a steal on 3 of 6 shooting. Ken Copeland, 6-4 and 2 on 3 of 5 shooting. Bo Fazo, 3 points, 3 assists, 1 of 3 from downtown. All of the shots coming from beyond the arc. Shaquille, and I think that's a guy also, Bo Fazo, another player, coming in, averaging 10 points per game. Really quiet for Kentucky, Katie.
Yeah, I mean, comparatively, he was below his average, and didn't even shoot that well when he did take a shot.
Yeah, for sure. Shaquille O'Neal 2, 4, and 3 on 1 of 4. Darnell Pope 2, 3, 1 and 1 on 1 of 4, and Rocket Webb 1, 2, 2 and 1. So not a lot of support here from probably anybody after Tim Savage. So you got about 5, 6, 7 guys from Kentucky that just really struggled from the field. As we flip the switch over to Duke, Gaston Lewis with a baguette. That's my favorite saying, baguette. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 10, 3 of 4 from downtown. Did a phenomenal job on the defensive side of the ball and ends up being the leading scorer for Duke. Something we really haven't said much of in a while for the Blue Devils, but Gaston Lewis really stepped up here. 7 of 13 shooting for Brussels Sprouts, finishing 16 points, a rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Good job by him. Aiden King. And King has been coming on lately. He has been, and I had that reverse dunk there, which we saw in the highlight package. Smoth, this is a simulation league, so it's not we actually don't play. It's all simulated, so with all play-by-play. So that's just a heads up there, but it is modded. Aiden King, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists on 69 shooting. King has been coming on. He's almost up to double figures, averaging on the season with 9.6 points per game. Obviously over that average here. Jordan Carter, big game from Carter. Normally 4.3 per game, 12 points from him. Good job by Carter off the bench. 5 of 9 shooting. 2 of 4 from downtown, though, Katie. Probably so the wrong Carter here, I think, had a hot night here.
Yeah.
L.A. Rowe, 9 points. So we had, 4 guys in double figures, almost 5. Young Money, I kept calling him J Money tonight. I don't know why. Young Money, 5 points, 3 assists. Nobody corrected me, too, all night long. So there's that. Shane Knox, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 6 dimes for the big fella. He had a couple alley-oop passes, so nice job by him. Scotty McNeil, 4 points, 3 rebounds, a block. 2 of 3 shooting. Loki Gunnarsson off the bench, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks to go along with his 2 points. Didn't have to do too much offensively, Katie, but did all the other things that we expected from him.
Yeah, I think they expected a little bit more offensive production out of him, but I know that we saw him give Pope issues, so we know he definitely had an impact.
Yeah, he definitely did. And again, Greg Pettis finishing with 2 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, and a block on 1 of 3 shooting. So good job by the Blue Devils. They'll advance. They'll take on the Gonzaga Bulldogs in the next round. We're going to have 2 brothers, head coach brothers, meeting up in that one, so that'll be fun to watch as the Stern watch goes into effect. It should be a fun one. But again, guys, really quickly, I'm going to bring the Discord channel over. Just really quickly, Katie, got a lot of games tomorrow. Kicking off at noon tomorrow as we go throughout the day. UCLA, Illinois to start us off at 12, followed by Kansas, Marquette, Wake Forest, Michigan, LSU, Texas Tech. And we get into the later hours of the night. Cincinnati, Baylor, Louisville, Iowa, Syracuse, Oklahoma State, and Michigan State versus Miami. So a lot of good games on the slate tomorrow. Another day of craziness of the March Madness round 1. Any parting words before or any thoughts about tomorrow as we head into tomorrow?
I mean, it was a great slate of action today, and I know some people weren't able to watch all of them, or maybe not watch any of them, but tomorrow's another day of it, so come in, check it out. It should be just as good, if not better.
Yeah, I would say we averaged well over 60 in all the streams today. So I think the highest we saw was 108. So continue to come in, support. This first round has been fun to watch. We've seen I'd say majority of the games that we've seen have been entertaining, and there's been some close scares. A couple of games that we did not expect to go the way that they went. So definitely going to want to tune in tomorrow to see how the second half of the first round goes. So make sure you tune in for that. I'm excited by it. Hopefully you guys are too and enjoying what you've seen here so far. For Katie Murphy, I'm Scott Drake. This has been CSBA March Madness. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more round 1 action as we see the other half of the bracket go down. So stick around for that. We'll see you guys tomorrow. CSBA out.